Welcome to the next episode of Voice AI newsletter, where we discuss the future of Voice AI. Today is a special episode since we are doing this from CCW, and we have an amazing guest, Shep Hyken, who is the Chief Amazement Officer, right, at Shepherd Presentations. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm super excited to have you here. And every time, Shep, I do the introduction of the companies, and I'm very transparent about it. I use ChatGPT for it, but let me try that. And if anything is wrong in the introduction, please correct me.
I will.
Cool. Yeah, it's founded by Shep Hyken. He's a company specializing in customer service and customer experience, training and consultancy. Shep Hyken, the Chief Amazement Officer. It's a cool title, by the way. He's a renowned keynote speaker and author who has been inducted into the National Speakers Association Hall of Fame. Wow. He is known for his motivational and content-rich presentations aimed at transforming company cultures to focus on superior customer service and CS. Was that right?
I think it nailed it. I think, I'm trying to think what else could we add. My mom would be very proud of this introduction. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, like I had occasions where I did this with some founders and they're like, okay, we should take it as the boilerplate for our marketing. Yeah, so again, welcome, Shep. So in this podcast, we go usually over 3 questions. What are the current challenges in voice AI? How companies solve these challenges? And where do you see we will be in 5 years in terms of voice AI? So we are super well focused on voice AI particularly. And given that we are at CCW, which brings a lot of energy usually, right? What are your how would you describe the challenges of voice AI?
So I think the biggest challenge right now is the consumer. And by the way, most of what I do when I do my research, it's all consumer-based research, and I use that to fuel and give relevance. And I guess, for lack of a better term, it confirms what a lot of us think, or it tells us something we need to be thinking about. But one of the studies we did, we asked the question about how comfortable you are with AI. By the way, a lot of people don't realize they're interacting with something that's fueled by AI, which is kind of cool. I mean, and people have been doing AI for years and years and not realize just your email, where it sends it to the junk folder or the spam folder, that's AI working. And we've had that, for 20 years, right? But when it comes to the type of AI as it relates to the customer service or experience they get when they're interacting with a brand, with a question, a problem, etc., 63% said, I'm a little concerned. I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if it's really working. I don't know if it's giving me the experience that I want. And here's why. There's good and bad when it comes to this. And if they've had a bad experience, it taints, and just like all the studies say, depending on what you look at, it takes 5 to 7 good things to make up for a bad thing. So if you're having a bad AI experience, the next 4 or 5 AI experiences, even if they're good, there's always this little thing in the back of your mind. Now, that said, about the same percentage of people have also said, I've used AI and it did work. They knew they were using AI. They were interacting with a frequently asked question setup that was more than just finding a question and giving you an answer. It was actually interacting with you.
And do you think, just looking at voice interactions, right? Do you think it would help if the system was transparent, saying this is AI?
We were at our board meeting. I'm honored to be on the CCW advisory board, and that was one of the comments that somebody made, that one of the questions that customers are asking on a very frequent basis when they're talking to a live agent is, are you, I'll use the word bot just to catch everything, but are you AI? Are you a bot? Are you a real person? Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's I wonder why do they do that?
Well, yeah, I think it helps make them comfortable. I also think that, I'm not saying that somebody, if the response was, I am a bot, and I don't know what the, I don't want to talk to you. I don't think that's the case. Well, let's give it a shot. But now at least I know that I might not be getting the empathy, sympathy, the reaction that I need. And I also hope the best AI-fueled interactions, voice or written, chatbot style, will recognize when a customer is frustrated and seamlessly transfer them to a live agent. And then the live agent can step in and say, hey, I'm here to help you. I can see that you're having some difficulty. And rather than start over, pick up where it left off. I think that's really important. And I think transparency is really important. I believe it was LL Bean, and I'm talking 5-6 years ago, where they came up with, and it was a chat bot, and they found that customers would ask, are you real or are you, a computer?
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Because that's how good it was.
Yeah, okay.
I think sometimes when it's really good, it's like, wow. And I think it's great because if we look at where we were, and I remember it's 2024 right now. In 2014, I believe, I was across the street at a different hotel at a different conference. I was with IBM at their Watson event, which is their AI. And one of the examples they did as a case study in part of the keynote presentation was they had the computer, the bot, the machine listening to the conversation between the agent and the customer. And it was interpreting questions, it was listening and giving the agent real information. And not only that, it was identifying that customer, who they were, what their buying patterns were, what they'd bought in the past, all of the information. But it gets better. The company has tens of thousands of customers, very large company, right? And so the bot or AI or whatever it was communicating with the call center agent was learning that this customer is just like 10,000 other customers we have, exactly like them. We can predict what the next question's going to be before they even ask the question. Or maybe they don't even know the question yet. Right, and so this is 10 years ago. But what's happening now is that agent can say, hey, by the way, before we get off the phone, I'd like to share with you some more information. Now, what does that do? People say, well, it takes a little bit more time. Time costs money. Well, let me ask you what costs more money. When that person has to call in, re-authenticate, get all set up. And not only that, the frustration the customer might have if they're upset about something that could have been handled on this call. So, and in addition to that, there's also cross-selling and upselling opportunities. So the point I'm making is that all this AI that they're talking about is like so revolutionary and brand new. 10 years ago, they were doing it. Now, by the way, 10 years ago, that company was paying millions and millions of dollars for that system to work the way it did. And by the way, it didn't work all that well, but it worked enough, right? And today, the accuracy is incredible. And to your point, how expensive is it to put your engine into a company? It's not millions of dollars. It's not hundreds of thousands either. It probably not even tens of thousands. It gets pretty cost effective to do it.
It does, yeah. It's the story of AI, right? It works, but not always.
But it's getting so much better. It really is. I mean, I just can't wait to see what the future brings.
So talking about the future, like how do you envision that industry be in 5 years, like the voice AI industry, right? Voice is still so important for customer interactions.
I think that the voice AI, you're going to see it become natural as opposed to computerized. And I think that's important. Number two, it is a replacement for the text. 5 years from now, maybe things will start to change a little bit. But we did a study, and I'm honored to have, collaborated is the best word, with Gartner or Capterra, and asked about companies that are investing in this type of automation. Are they eliminating employees? Are they adding employees? And 60% were adding employees in spite of their investment. Now, I think there's going to be a balancing point where you're going to start to see, yes, if you have people that haven't been able to up-level their knowledge and their capabilities, they're gone. But the smart and powerful agents who can really take care of customers, there's going to be a place for them because there are complicated situations, and I believe it will be beyond 5 years before it starts to replace a human, if at all.
So, and do you think in 5 years people will still be, uncomfortable with?
I can't wait to see. We started asking questions about AI 2 years ago, so I'm looking for trends.
Okay.
And I think we're going to start to see the trend. Believe it or not, let's start with the basic channel. What do people like to do when they have a problem? They make a phone call. 70% versus 30% say they are willing to go digital first. Okay. Now, you think that number would be shrinking over the years, but 4 or 5 years ago, it was 59% said, I want to go phone first versus self-service. Now it's 70%, and I can't understand why. I just look at it, but I do understand that baby boomers, the older generation, it's 82% of baby boomers are saying, I'm going to go phone first, where Gen Zs, the younger generations, I think it's 51 or 52%. My memory is pretty good right now. I mean, for as late as I stayed up last night for the CCW party, right? That 52% of Gen Z, might be 51%, said, you know what? I'm going to go digital first, which means they're willing to accept AI or any other type of digital self-service experience. I believe as things go forward, we're going to start to see that trend go the other direction. By the way, there's a percentage of customers, I can't remember it, it's not real high, but if you don't give me AI, or digital self-service, I am not even going to consider doing business with you. Yeah. And I believe there's certain companies that hope there's more of that because they've made the big mistake of not having a balance between the human-to-human contact and the digital support that they offer.
Amazing. Well, amazing insights. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you. A pleasure very much to meet you.
Great.